Today, guys, I'm doing a little bit of maintenance to the M3. I did a video not too long ago where I'd arrived at the AAA smog station, and my anticipation was that I would get to the smog station, pass with flying colors. Did not go as I anticipated. Basically, the car was considered incomplete because I changed the battery a while back. As you know, cars that sit have to be maintained. The battery went dead, had to replace it. But I'd since driven the car. I'd driven the car quite a few times. Went online, tried to figure out, what could be causing it to fail smog or not complete smog, because the result was that the computer was not ready on all systems. Turns out it was the catalytic converter system that wasn't ready. So it wasn't the same as a fail. If you take your car in the smog, you can have it either pass, fail, or be rendered incomplete, fix this thing, come back, and then they'll just rerun it before they fail it again. So went online, tried to find out, well, what could be the issue. I thought I'd driven it enough, and it turns out on a lot of the posts that I'd seen about the same situation, there was a lot of driving required to get the car to reset. So after going back yesterday, having them do the initial test before I even went through the whole kit and caboodle and ended up with a fail, the guy told me, yeah, the system's still not ready. Go drive the car a little bit more. So I've been out today. It's pretty early. I've been out today for roughly an hour and a half, just driving the car on the freeway, then got off, went through some towns. It's been a good drive. I really got to spend some time with the car. Obviously losing one car in my fleet, the 911 997, it gives me more time to drive the other cars, so to speak. I mean, there's still a lot to cover, right? But at any rate, it gave me a lot of time to really drive this car, enjoy this car. I've put roughly about 70 something miles on it, just with this journey. I think it should be ready by now. I've done a whole lot of different kind of driving. I'm actually a little tired of driving it. But one of the things I did feel was worth noting was just how well-rounded this car is. One of the things that really impressed me on this drive specifically was how well geared it is. At one point I was going through some canyon area and the car was in third gear, and I was actually able to go as slow as 20 miles per hour in third gear and still accelerate back up to a pretty quick speed, or to a pretty decent speed pretty quickly without downshifting. And I just thought that's a pretty good gearing for third gear. I mean, it seems so strong. It was such a compelling sort of consideration. I thought, well, maybe the thing will take off in third. It won't take off in third. Not well. You have to kind of ride the clutch a bit, which I'm not a fan of, but it was just impressive. I just thought that was really cool. This is such a great car to drive. One of the other discoveries is that the car, the engine rather, really starts to come alive at about roughly 3,000 RPM. It's very good off idle. The thing that really makes BMW cars with the inline six so amazing is how much low-end torque they produce. But then they kind of hold a pretty steady build of torque all the way up. But like most cars, there is a little dip spot. So I think from initial takeoff till about 2, it kind of levels off, or dips, if you will. Not like low, but it doesn't like snap as quickly. Then you hit 3, and all of a a sudden the Speedo starts to move so much quicker. It just comes alive. It's really, really invigorating, actually. Just a really solid car. I've been sort of thinking about if I was faced with a certain dilemma, how I would handle it. And that dilemma being, with the cars that I have left for leisure, being this car, the E46 M3, it's a 2006, the RX-7, which is a FC, a 90 model, or the 911, the 993, which is a 97. If I had to get rid of all but one car, I'm tearing up just thinking about it. If I had to get rid of just one, which one would I end up keeping? And if I'm honest, because I've been driving this car so much due to the fact that I was getting an incomplete on the smog, computer not being ready, this car just does everything so amazingly well. Everything. It really does. I started to feel like this would definitely be a car to have for the ages. It's aged pretty well, and it's just such a joy to drive. I mean, that engine, I think if everything else fell apart around the car, the engine would still be as great as it was the day it rolled off the assembly line. I feel that way, just from my experience anyway. So I'm thinking, well, maybe this would be the car to keep. But as you know, with any car, once you get in the seat of it, you start to feel the same way about that car. So I imagine that right now, if I were to pull over and get into the 993, I would say the same thing. You know, after driving this car for a few days, it just became very apparent that this car would be the car to keep. I'd say the same thing, I'm sure. So that's why it's a dilemma, because in their own right, all of them do something special that make you feel special when you drive them. And they're a leisure car. So it's not like I'm thinking of it in terms of I would keep it so that I could drive it as my everyday car. One's going to get more groceries than the other. One's going to be more comfortable on long trips. It's not even that kind of a thought. It's simply, what car could I take out on any given day and have so much fun in it that I would not miss? Well, let's not go too far. I wouldn't miss them, but that I would be satisfied with having just that car. It had me thinking, and I've just been thinking about it. I slept on it, woke up today, and I was still thinking about it. Like, if that was the situation, which one would it be that I would keep? It's going to require some more research, I'll tell you that. But I pose the question to you guys. You've been with me along this journey, and I really appreciate it, and I hope you still are enjoying the videos. Not that they're coming as quickly as they were before. There's a lot going on, but I'm still here. But I want to ask you guys, if this was your dilemma, and I don't want to know about what other car you'd like to throw in there and say, oh, well, if I had to have one. This is not about the one car you'd like to have if you had to have one. It's about which of these three cars that I'm talking about today, if you had to choose, would you choose? I've done videos on all three. You can check them out. Got them there to the side so you can see which ones they are. Some of them are a little long, bear with me, but they're very informative and they're very engaging, and that you get to really sense like what I'm getting out of the drive. Check them out, okay? This is not something you got to tell me tomorrow or the next day, but just check them out. And then post on this particular video, after you've seen those, post comments about which car you would choose to keep. I'm very interested to see what you guys would say, because I don't know what I'd say. And I'm not necessarily going to do this, but I'm just curious. I'm really curious. So let me know your thoughts, and I'll kind of tally them up and then do a summary of where we've landed. And then I will tell you, after I've done my additional research, which means a lot of driving, which does not suck, which one I would choose. And we'll see if we net out in the same place. But, you know, kind of judge it from more than just which one's the most valuable, which one's going to have value in the future, which one's the fastest. Just from the pure enjoyment sense of it, which one do you think? I'll be interested to hear. Looking forward to hear from you. All right? Thanks, guys. Till next time.